Claire asks, what is your insight on autoimmune disorders and other chronic illnesses that may not, quote unquote, have a cure? And she lists type 1 diabetes, Crohn's, asthma, etc.
Phenomenal question. I'm usually not gonna subcategorize things, but in this case, I'm going to, because there's there's autoimmune, there's chronic conditions, there's things that people are born with, like type 1 diabetes, and then there's things that can be developed over time.
Mm-hmm.
So I want to differentiate those two to begin with,
Sure.
right? Because what I'm going to say about the category of the things that are developed, I do believe that those can be treated, and I do believe that those can be cured.
Mm-hmm.
For things like type 1 diabetes, the treatment is injecting insulin because you don't have the cells to be able to create the insulin within your body.
Mm-hmm.
So there's not a cure to type 1 diabetes. There's a treatment for it. But some of these other ones that are developed, like fibromyalgia, for example, Crohn's disease later on in life, ulcerative colitis, like these other things that come about, I do think there is treatment for, and not just the treatment, but the cure. So I want to start with that. And then I'll go into, well, how do we look at autoimmune conditions, right? So the immune response is your system's natural defense to take down something that it's identifying as a threat, whether it's a bacteria, whether it's a virus, whatever the perception has become of the threat, the immune system puts in a response to attack that thing so that after it attacks it, it cleans out the debris. Now you can heal, regenerate, and become more robust, more resilient than you were before. So the immune system is a beautiful thing, right? And it gets stronger and stronger and stronger the more inputs that it gets. So as a kid, eat some dirt because your immune system is going to develop and become stronger to that, right?
Yeah.
You get a vaccine, the vaccine's not a cure. The vaccine is giving you that virus, it's a dead strand of it. So now your body is creating a defense mechanism against that. And it's also working off of prediction. Oh, I've seen this thing before. I created the cells to attack it. So if I see this thing again, I can create these cells to go and attack it because I have memory of how to get there. So in these autoimmune conditions, and then auto means self, right? It's that person's system. It's their own system that's doing this. So autoimmune is the person's own immune system attacking them.
Mm-hmm.
Then we have to ask the question, why is it attacking itself? And what we tend to think is, oh, it's because my immune system is bad. I have a bad immune system. No, you have a very accurate immune system. You don't have good cells or bad cells. You have cells that are doing what they're told based off of the message that they're given.
Mm-hmm.
They are being given the message to attack. So we have to figure out, why are they getting that message of attack?
Mm-hmm.
How do we change that message of attack? And what we've learned with a lot of clients that we worked with these autoimmune conditions that are, again, in this category as they've developed over time, is that they've been attacked so often from a lot of different angles, a lot of different events, a lot of different people. They've been rejected so often that their body only seems to have one prediction left, which is to now attack itself. Because if everything else is attacking me, then the environment must be right. I must have to attack myself. So now it starts looking at things that normally wouldn't cause an immune response. Now is causing an immune response because it's like full warfare ahead. Attack everything that's coming in. So now people start having a reaction to sugar when they didn't have a reaction to sugar before. They start having a reaction to this food when they didn't have a reaction to this type of food before. And then it gets blamed on the autoimmune condition as to why that's happening, instead of taking that step back and saying, well, no. Your whole system is attacking this thing because you're attacked. You're feeling attacked. Can we sit down? Can we go through what has attacked you? Your beliefs as to why you've been attacked, your beliefs on what this disorder is, your beliefs on if you think that you're stuck with this, your beliefs on what this thing actually is. Have you heard of people healing from this before? Can we start to change your perspective? Can we get you to love yourself? Because once you truly start to love yourself, and once your soul is aligning with what your body is asking it to do, your body will start to take care of itself, because now the cells are getting a different message. Instead of the cells getting the signal of attack, they're going to get the signal of rebuild. Don't need to attack this. And now we can start building this back up piece by piece by piece.
Wow, that's That's so beautiful. I think a lot of people have these different chronic illnesses or autoimmune disorders, and they just kind of throw in the flag and say, "This is going to be my life for the rest of my life."
Mm-hmm.
Like this sucks, but like I have to deal with it. Or they, sometimes there's like blame of genetics, or like my mom has it, so I must have it. But you're really saying like there's a level of environment and rejection that you may have gone through that your body is now rejecting itself.
100%. And genetics set the stage.
Mm-hmm.
Genetics set the stage, but environment is what allows that play to happen.
Mm.
So we cannot just say it was genetics that did this. It was genetics that caused my fibromyalgia. No, no, no. There might have been genetics that predisposed you to this, but then you went through childhood abuse. You got rejected at school. You got fired from your work. Your significant other left you. That environment now set up the stage for fibromyalgia to perform. We cannot change the genetics, at least that's what we know now, but we can change the environment.
Mm-hmm. Wow, thanks, Dylan.
Mm-hmm.
And Claire, thank you for that question. I think it's fascinating, and I think I personally know that not every healthcare provider or doctor think in this way, and so this is a really unique perspective that I think a lot of people should dive into. And we post these podcasts bi-weekly now for the sake of soaking this in. And so, if you're listening and you have an autoimmune or you have a chronic illness or you know someone that does, and the reality is you probably do because that's the world we're living in right now, especially in the United States. Maybe this is the question that you need to sit with and let it simmer for the next couple of weeks, and really ask yourself, what does this mean for me and for my loved ones?
Yeah, and not to open up another can of worms into this, but we're seeing autoimmune conditions on the rise.
Mm-hmm.
We're also seeing separation on the rise, right? And again, not saying this is a causation because that will get me in trouble with
Mm-hmm.
researchers, but there is this correlation, and correlations can be attributed to a lot of different things. But what I've noticed is that autoimmune conditions have gone up as there's been more separation.
Mm.
And by more separation, I mean more in the environment of one side versus this side, very dogmatic. It's this way or nothing. And then there's a separation of the person's body and what their soul is asking them to do.
Mm.
So many times people spend their lives trying to make other people happy and to give to them, which is great, but there's a level of sacrifice and a level of what your soul is asking you to do. Everyone here has such an individual beautiful talent that in most of the world is untapped because people spend too much time doing things that they were not meant to do. And as they continue to do that over and over and over and over again, eventually the body starts saying, well, I don't want to be doing this.
Mm-hmm.
Like, get me out of here. So the immune system goes, got it, heard the message. Let me start attacking so that we can get rid of these things and start generating these things faster and faster and faster so that you can get to where you want to go. Right. And that's the important message, is that you are constantly moving towards your strongest thought. And whatever that thought is, your body's going to go right behind you and go, all right, I'm with you.
Mm-hmm.
So this autoimmune condition and idea, it's not that your immune system is inaccurate. It's not that your immune system is bad. It's that the signal that it's getting is saying attack. We need to change that signal. Change the signal to the cells. Start living that life that you were meant to live. And that's really our goal at Hope Not Nope, with the book, with Hope
Yeah.
Coaching, with everything that we do, is to allow people to come alive. That
Mm-hmm.
you've been dealt nope, you've been plagued by nope. We want to empower you with hope, and we want to give you hope in that framework so you can live the life that you were intended to live.
Mm-hmm.
And deep down, you know what that life is. You've had visions of it, you've tasted it, but you think it's so far away, and it almost paralyzes you from making those steps.
Mm-hmm.
Just make that one small step, one small step. And again, in this category of immune conditions that are developed over time, they can, in my opinion, not just be treated, but they can be cured.
Mm-hmm.
And we talked before about hang in there. No, we're done hanging in there.
Mm-hmm.
Let's get you out of there.
Yeah.
Let me reach my hand down, hold on to my arm. Let me pull you out of this, and then let us guide you to get to that step.
Yeah. Awesome. Great job. I love that question. I love that answer and question.